I think we'll be top. I mean, I'm feeling good about our guys. We got a good group of guys that are willing to do, listen, I mean, play hard all the time.
Hello Seahawk fans, welcome to another season of UNCW basketball. I'm Aaron Schoonmaker along with Brian Mull, who is once again going to be your UNCW Seahawks guru for the season. Year 5 for you covering the team, year 2 for the Hawk Talk show. Let's jump right into it. We've had a chance to go to Media Day. We've had a chance to talk to the players, the coaches. Basketball all across the country is going on. Tell me a little bit about some of the storylines for the season.
Absolutely. It's an exciting time of the year. You know, there's a lot of things I'll be watching both within and around the nation. A lot of different storylines with UNCW ties. You've got Brad Brownell, former coach, getting started at Clemson. They won their season opener the other night. Billy Donlin, who is a former player and assistant coach here, who replaced Brad at Wright State. Right. I'll be watching John Fields' progress at Tennessee. Yep. He took his athletic ability and shot blocking game to play for the Vols this year and had a very good opener himself. So those are just a few of the things I'll be keeping my eye on across the country within the CAA. You know, it's kind of the same thing we're always looking at this time of the year. George Mason, Old Dominion, VCU, right. They're kind of the heavyweights. Can the CAA become a two-bid league right. in the NCAAs? You know, the same sort of things. Closer to home with the Seahawks, obviously. A lot of buzz. That'll be the last pun along those lines. About the Seahawks. Buzz Peterson, of course, first year here. He's got an uphill climb, and we'll kind of see where it goes from there.
Now, the season's already gotten underway for most teams across the country. A real tough schedule a lot of times for these openers in the mid-majors. UNCW, no exception there. They had a tough one with Florida. Tell me a little bit about that game.
Absolutely. Florida returns all 5 starters, each of whom averaged in double figures a year ago. They have a solid team, very long, athletic. They were starting a 6'10" small forward, whereas UNC Wilmington only has 2 players 6'6" or taller, you know, in the lineup. Florida, you know, they kind of strike me as a Sweet 16, Elite 8 type of team. I don't know if they have the dominant player that you need to get over the top and get to the Final Four. UNCW came out and competed really hard, struggled with turnovers a little bit, but
they kept that game within 17 points. They were actually really competitive. They got down a little bit early, down into the 20s, but really battled back, finished strong from what I hear.
They did. I think that reveals a lot about their character, their togetherness. Buzz was reiterating, let's just focus on the process in each segment and not play the score, and I think they did a good job of doing that.
Well, looking ahead now, they've got a game tonight. They've also got a game Thursday. They've got a real tough opening schedule after that, though. Talk a little bit about them moving forward in the first part of their season. Absolutely.
A difficult it seems like, you know, we wait and wait and wait, and then there's always this big burst of games. They play 5 times in 12 days. In this circumstance, 2 of those 5 are against top 10 teams on the road. Of course, we mentioned Florida. There's a trip to Ohio State on Saturday night. They're, you know, definitely a national championship contender. And a couple of home games in between, Liberty and Morehead State, which are, you know, similar mid-major type competition. Liberty's kind of picked to finish in the middle of the pack in the Big South. Morehead State has been one of the top teams in the Ohio Valley the last couple of years. They have a player, Kenneth Fareed, who you may not have heard a lot about, but he's projected as a potential first-round draft pick next year, a very athletic post player.
Now, when we were at Media Day, we got to talking to some of the players and talking to Buzz Peterson about a change isn't going to happen overnight. They're not going to come out and win the CAA and go to the Final Four this year.
Of course, everybody wants to win right away. And you want to, everybody like to go there and turn on that light switch and boom, there it goes. But I think within time, I think we can get there with what we have here now and the strong recruiting efforts.
If they can progress every year and these recruits that are coming in start producing, then they're going to make that step. Tell me a little bit about their recruiting class right now.
Absolutely. You know, any coach will tell you that recruiting is the lifeblood of a program. I admire Peterson for coming in early and saying it's 80% of the program. You know, he understands the importance of having high-level talent. Of course, when you play with Michael Jordan and Sam Perkins and James Worthy and Kenny Smith and guys of that caliber in college, you understand that it's the players ultimately that win the games. They've signed an 8-man class. They have Freddie Jackson, who's the 2010 Star News Player of the Year. He's really a pass-first point guard. Had an opportunity to go over and watch New Hanover work out last week. Very impressed with his game. His body's developing a little bit. And you know, he's the cornerstone of the class, but they certainly have a ton of talent around him, some size. That was something they were desperately in need of when you look at this year's roster. And, you know, some intriguing players. Like I said, we'll see who develops and at what rate, but I think it's a backbone that can really take the program to where people want it.
Size and speed, two things that are very important in the college basketball game, something that maybe they don't have right now, something they're building for. Give me one key thing for this week, for the rest of the season. One key thing.
I would like, you know, what I'll be watching is how this team develops, both individual players and as a team. And then kind of when they face some adversity, you know, especially early on with the schedule being difficult, how they handle it. You know, are they able to put it behind them, learn from it, and maybe come out a stronger team the next time? And if this team can continue to do those things, you know, as Peterson has said, I think the results will take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for this first edition of the season. Come back. You know, we're going to update you every week, every other week, you know, as it warrants. We're going to be in-depth just as much as we can with it. You're already on the website, so keep looking around for it. Be sure to check out Brian's blog, read everything about the Seahawks sports, and keep checking it out, guys.
You know, it's so I once told somebody, it's like you got pieces of puzzle, and you're trying to get every corner worked in there where everything works out, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now as a staff.